Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Podium or Wall, Season 5, All Shake, No Break. We're coming to you live from Virginia International Raceway for Round 7. We're in the touring cars, and boy, do we have a treat for you tonight. Let's take you to the video board. Oh my goodness, and if that doesn't get you excited for the race coming up, then I don't know what will. And we're getting ready to grid here for round number 7 in the touring cars. I'm coming to you live with my co-commentator. How are you doing today?
Oh, very good, very good. And we've got 9 race cars tonight. Not quite the full field, but it's still going to be some exciting racing. Can't wait to see how we get this started.
Yeah, we got the pleasure of watching a little highlight reel there our editors put together for us, featuring all of the racers featured on the grid so far this season. As you mentioned, not all of them will be there tonight. Notably, Trash Panda and Chimp will be missing the cut. But that does leave us with most of the grid regulars that you're used to. We've got the race car starting first. Jeff Platt in second. Mr. Schwung in third. Captain Crash starting fourth. Avant-Garde in fifth. Rock Lee in sixth. Gold Striker in seventh. Cuban Missile in eighth. Mole Diver starting ninth as the lights go red. Let's have us a good, clean race here, fellas. And it's a green flag start. Virginia National Raceway. Here we go.
Captain Crash off to a pretty poor start. He's passed by Avant-Garde. We got Race Car and Jeff Plata fighting at the first turn.
What a beautiful shot there as we see Gold Striker going up the inside a little bit there of Rock Lee. Beautiful drone cam here of turns 1 here at VIR. Rock Lee on the outside. Oh, sorry, that's a race car. He just gave up the inside of P1. That's Jeff Plata leading the race. He'll take P1. Mr. Schwung looking to pass race car up into P2, but he's holding on to P3 for now. Behind him, Avant-Garde, Cuban Missile, Captain Crash, but right here, it's race car and Mr. Schwung. Beautiful snake line here going.
Love to see it, dude. Bumper to bumper racing going through that stretch there. And here we go. Jeff Plata leading the pack.
Yeah, unfortunately, the timing tower and the race map both seem to be malfunctioning right now, but they usually get it kicking into gear within a lap or two, so we're not worried about that. As we see Jeff Plata going a little bit wide into the grass. Oh, and he's going to get back on, sending the race car wide. That's 1 and 2 gone. Captain Crash going a little bit wide. He had an incident there with, I think it was the Cuban Missile he got into. That puts Mr. Schwung up into first. Avant-Garde in second. Cuban Missile up into third. Gold Striker in fourth as they come down the back straight. Still pretty organized here.
You can see there's a bit of a gap there behind Captain Crash. Race car and Jeff Plata solidly behind after that incident.
Yep, hopefully they can find their way back through this field. They obviously aren't so happy after that result. Mr. Schwung goes first. He's a little wide and he goes back on the track. Very similar to what we just saw happen. Nearly getting into Avant-Garde there. Oh, but that's going to force Avant-Garde wide. Seemed to be a bit of his own error there, if I have to say. Didn't seem like Mr. Schwung did anything there as we see the Mole Diver and Cuban Missile get into it. Oh, the Mole Diver into the back of the Cuban Missile. Cuban Missile goes wide. Gold Striker trying to avoid it. He's into the wall. Wow.
We've had a hell of a shake-em up here at lap 1. Mr. Schwung still leading the pack, followed by Rock Lee and the Mole Diver. Those two fighting for second right there. Mole Diver's got him on the inside, and then you see the disappearing line. But Mr. Schwung's back again. leading the pack.
Beautiful stuff here. A bit of a shake 'em ups there in laps 1, as he said, but we still got good racing here. The pack hasn't stretched out all that much. Mr. Schwung with the Moldiver breathing out his neck. Rock Lee up into 3rd. They've got a little trio breaking off here from the rest of them. So you get a good view here of the whole pack. Except for Pavant Guard, who seems to be in the pits, unfortunately. He may be out of this one. Beautiful shot there of the group led by Mr. Schwung, as Race Car and Jeff Blatta make their way through. Rock Lee here finding himself in P3. Looks like we've got our timing tower back, but the Gracers aren't showing up on the track map, but that's all right. You know what? We never even... What if that's not even something we promise the viewers anymore? That could be just an extra feature. The turns are still labeled. That's all you need to know. As we watch Rock Lee here coming down the back straight into the hard braking zone that is turn 14. A lot of elevation change there in that one. In these front-wheel drive cars, you're tempted to, get on the gas early, but with all that elevation change going downhill, you don't want to exactly, pedal to the metal because you risk a bit of wheel slip there. Looks like Goldstriker in P5 is coming up to the ass. Oh, looks like Mr. Schwung's gone a little bit wide there. Yep, as you said, Moldiver up into 1st place with that one. And Rock Lee up into 2nd. Mr. Schwung down into 3rd. Beautiful drone cam there.
Here we are following Mr. Schwung as he tries to fight his way back into 2nd place. He had led this pack for a lap or two, and now we're back looking at Captain Crash and Jeff Plata. Those two neck and neck fighting it out for 6th place.
Yep, and just a little bit up the field there, looks like Race Car and Goldstriker finding themselves in a similar scenario. It looks like we've got 3 sort of groupings of 2 here as we look from 3rd on back. Mr. Schwung finding himself a little closer to the pace car, or the Rock Lee, that is, and Goldstriker and Race Car were battling it out. Things spreading out a little bit now, about 1 second in between each of these guys. Will the Moldiver run off with it? He's putting down the fastest lap. Yep, we see Goldstriker here. He's struggling with those the exit onto the back straight there. He's told me in an interview he never could nail that double right-hander exit onto 12, and that's the most important turn on the map pretty much.
That being said, turn 14 is a doozy as we see them all snake through turns 15, 16, and 17 here. Moldiver still leading the pack, followed by Rock Lee and Mr. Schwung chasing them up. Goldstriker about 2 seconds behind that group with the Race Car right behind him.
Beautiful shot of the facilities there. You see all the pit stops, and we got Goldstriker coming around the start-finish line here. Finding himself in P4 at the moment, but he's found his way past the Race Car. He's looking to find himself into the podium conversation. Race Car in P5, it's down from his starting position, but this would be a good finish for him if he's able to hold on.
As we're nearing the halfway point, we haven't seen too many incidents or accidents for the last couple laps. The Moldiver with the fastest lap leading the pack, followed by Rock Lee and Mr. Schwung, all on the podium currently. Goldstriker's trying to change that up, and behind him is Race Car and Jeff Plata and Captain Crash, all duking it out, trying to find points here at VIR.
Yeah, and the battle for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is not completely out of, it's still a conversation here. Rock Lee is not going away easily. He's 1.3 behind the Moldiver, and Mr. Schwung's only 1.9 behind him, so still potential for either of these racers to make a move happen into the top 2, maybe even the podium position. the top spot currently occupied by the Moldivers. You see the gap there drop down to 1 second. Rock Lee is putting on some pressure.
And we see on the back straight, race car seems to have fallen behind Gold Striker quite a bit. A 5-second gap now between those, but he's going to join in with Jeff Plata and Captain Crash.
Yep, and we had a sort of a trio of couplings there, and now we sort of have 2 groups of 4 or so, it seems like. We got a group of 4 and then a group of 3, but they've broken apart there a little bit. It looked like Gold Striker was maybe going to enter along with Mr. Schwung and Rock Lee, getting closer to the Moldiver there, but still just Rock Lee in P2, 1.2 seconds behind the Moldiver. Not putting any moves on. Jeff Platt up the inside of the race car. Excellent move we just saw there. He's got considerably more speed down the straight there. He'll have it handedly. Beautiful move by Plata. He's up in P5. Captain Crash looking to make the same thing happen. He's up the inside of the race car. Race car down 2 spots with that one. A lovely double move there. One by Jeff Plata, the next by Captain Crash. He'll have the inside of the next turn. Can he make it stick? Ooh. Race car coming back ferociously. He's not giving that spot up. Look at that. Race car holding on. I thought for sure Captain Crash had him up the inside there.
You know, there were some racing maneuvers by the race car, and let's see what they can do in these next couple corners.
Beautiful shot of the field here as you see the separation with the leader Moldiver coming there at the start of that shot, and at the back of this shot we have Captain Crash in 7th. So not too much time separating everyone here. There's still, you know, it could be anyone's race. It almost seems like the calm before the storm here, if I had to say. There's been a lot of good, clean racing here for a number of laps, and I'm not so sure if that'll hold up, given the history of this league. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you know, some might say you just jinxed it, but here we go. We're going into the last 3 or so laps. And again, Captain Crash trying to chase down the race car, see if he can get a spot back from him.
Hopefully not the victim of commentary curse there, but Rock Lee, he's broken that second gap threshold in P2. He's chasing the Moldiver here, coming down the back stretch here. They've got a few more laps left, but Rock Lee is biding his time. You know, if he can keep that second gap, all he needs is one good lap or the Moldiver to have one bad lap, and we could see a reversal of positions here. All Rock Lee has to do is keep it steady, maybe keep putting the pressure on and just race his race. He could find himself in the win here. Rock Lee, one of the racers who's gracious enough to the commentators to rock a consistent paint scheme. You'll always find him representing a cigarette brand.
Yeah, whether it's Marlboro or Camel in the GT3s, it's easy to pick out Rock Lee on the racetrack.
That's right, and you know, he's representing them well today. A solid showing into P2 so far. Showing that he knows how to traverse these TCRs pretty well. He's still here. Go on the board with the race car and Captain Crash here. Jeff Plata, he has blown by them considerably. Not quite. He's still got about a second gap there, but hopefully he's looking to run away from these guys. Captain Crash looking to make his way up into 6. You know, those points, it may only be 2 or 3 points into your championship standings, but, you know, it matters a lot considering the race drops and all that stuff as you get a really good look at the separation of the field here again on the back straight.
And again, lots of time separates Rock Lee from Gold Striker, and Gold Striker is somehow broken away from Mr. Schwung. Here we are on the bumper of Jeff Plata watching race car chase down the back straight. Let's see if they get any closer into turns 14 and 15 with the big breakers in.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we see Gold Striker up into the podium here. We didn't see that on track, but Mr. Schwung down into 4th, but he's got a lot of time to Jeff Plata in 5th there. Jeff Plata looking to hold off the race car and Captain Crash. And then, unfortunately, in 8th and 9th, not been spoken about much today. We have Cuban Missile and Pavant Guard. Still on the lead lap, it looks like, but neither of them has much hope at having any good fortune here today, unfortunately. But for the rest of the guys, pretty exciting stuff throughout the field. I don't think any racers having a boring one here as the race car dips a toe into the grass, and that's Captain Crash up into the 6th. Getting a good exit out there. He's looking at Jeff Plata now, erasing that gap down to 0.07. Look at that.
He's on the bumper of Jeff Plata as we near the finish of this race. These two have been racing real close all night. Let's see what comes of these last 2 laps or so.
And as I mentioned, Cuban Missile earlier, he's found himself in the pit now. I guess he is looking to get some repairs maybe quickly and finish a lap or so, but I'm not sure what's going on there. Captain Crash on the ass of Jeff Plata. Beautiful battle here for P5. The race car, we thought he was going to be dusted, but he's right there with them. This is a beautiful battle for P5. 3 of them fighting hard. As we come into the back straight here.
Back straight. This is the meaningful section of the track. You can get a lot of speed if you stay in the draft, but there's a lot of braking and turning at the end of this place, and we'll see how tight they get at the turn 14.
Yep, that's right. Hard braking zone there. You can push the limits of the car if you're willing to. A lot of people choosing to, brake a little earlier and have the car be more steady throughout it, but you can push it pretty hard if you're more comfortable with pushing the car to the limit. As we see a lot of racers gaining some time there. So we see Captain Crash potentially cutting that corner, dipping a tire into the grass. Not sure if he has to serve a slowdown there, but he's in the draft of Jeff Plata.
Looked like he got a little eager there, trying to make a move here, but he is still following Jeff Plata, just a half second behind him, if that, as they go into turn 1 here. Getting real close.
And I believe we're on the last lap. It looks like the Moldiver's found himself with a 2-second lead on Rock Lee. Rock Lee still holding on to the fastest lap, but not enough to challenge the leader, who we haven't seen much from today, besides that early incident with the Cuban Missile. He's run off with it for the most part. Not exactly run off with it in the manner we've seen in races past, but he's been in first for pretty much the whole time since he got there. Oh, as we see here, as we mentioned, the Cuban Missile looks to be messing with the Moldiver a little bit. This is the lapped car, people. Oh, he's on the brakes early into that turn. Moldiver not having it. He sends him out of the way. Oh, my goodness. Rock Lee and Goldstriker held up a little bit because of that, but Goldstriker gaining a ton of time on Rock Lee as a result. I'm not sure what we just saw.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shake-em-up right there. Not sure what the Cuban Missile was doing, but Moldiver holds on to first, followed by Rock Lee, closely followed by Goldstriker as they come around for the final time.
Yeah, Goldstriker's going to have the draft on Rock Lee here now, as Rock Lee is gaining so much time in that braking zone. As we just mentioned in the last lap, look how much time he just gained on Moldiver, as this is a 3-man race all of a sudden. Look at that. Goldstriker on the ass of Rock Lee, as they're coming down into the hog pen here. Oh my God, the Cuban Missile, what the hell is this? He almost crashed into Goldstriker there. Goldstriker, he's in the draft of the Moldiver. Moldiver knocks off the front end of the Rock Lee. Oh my goodness, it's a race to the line. It's a photo finish, a 3-man race. Moldiver out front. Goldstriker giving a bump to Rock Lee. He'll come across in second. Rock Lee in third. I don't know what the hell just happened. That was insanity, as we've got Jeff Plata here and Captain Crash. They're coming along the last turn. It's Mr. Schwung in fourth. But with these two are battling for fifth, how will this battle end? Oh, he's looking up the outside, but he doesn't quite have the draft there. That's an excellent finish for Jeff Plata in fifth. Captain Crash in sixth. Race car right behind them in seventh. Pavant Guard, he finds himself in eighth. But, wow, that was a 3-car photo finish there at the end, influenced by the Cuban Missile. A lap down. Certainly an exclamation point to the end of this one. Yeah, let's take it to you.
What do you say? A wild result. Not sure where the Cuban Missile came from, but he was out with a vengeance on the course. Put a little bit of show on for the Moldiver, slowing him down, and just like that, photo finish, first, second, and third. The Moldiver, Goldstriker, and Rock Lee all within a moment of having first place and taking all the points home.
Rock Lee holding on to the fastest lap. He'll take that
Look at
extra
that.
point.
Rockley did get the fastest lap at the end. Yep, he held on to that.
He does get to come out here with some ray of sunshine after. I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that one. Probably having a private conversation with the Cuban Missile about that one. The Cuban Missile, you'll have to assume he was intending to slow the Moldiver down as they were involved in that incident earlier, but the result was anything but, as the Moldiver comes away with it. Podium or Wall, Season 5, all shake, no break.